Wenatchee is gorgeous in the spring with its lush green rolling hills, abundant wildflowers everywhere, and the views of the Columbia River. The local food scene offers an abundant selection of authentic international cuisines featuring the unique farm-fresh ingredients of the region. Wenatchee is also home to award-winning wines, handcrafted hard ciders, and a talented handful of local brewers producing fine craft beers. Visit Wenatchee, the heart of Washington State.
Spend less time in the laundry room and more time doing the things you love. Introducing the Samsung Smart Top Load Laundry Pair, now available at Lowe's. The washer's large capacity means you can fit more in every load. Plus, its super speed setting washes a full load in only 28 minutes. Shop the smart washer that will streamline laundry day, backed by Lowe's Price Promise. Based on using super speed on a normal cycle with an 8-pound load. Terms apply. See Lowe's.com/price promise for details. U.S. only.
Hey, this is BJ. Thanks for listening to our show's podcast. If you're a fan of all things geeky, you should check out my other podcast, BJ Shea's Geek Nation. We have new episodes every day, and you can check it out at bjgeeknation.com.
Your driver's license is important so you can get back and forth to work, get your kids to school, and back and forth to daycare. If your license has been suspended because you can't pay your tickets, you can't do any of those things. Let's talk about Chapter 13 bankruptcy. You may have heard the tickets cannot be discharged, but they can be dealt with in a Chapter 13 case. Why not come in for a free consultation? The chapter you choose will make all the difference to your getting back, legally, on the road. Let's design a plan to pay off your tickets and restore your license immediately. I'm attorney Travis Gagne. Please contact me today at choosetherightchapter.com. That's choosetherightchapter.com.
99.9 KISW, the Rock of Seattle. A 27-year-old guy just posted on Reddit about an issue he's having with his 26-year-old fiancée. They got engaged on Valentine's Day, and it turns out they have very different visions of their wedding. She wants something, quote, formal and glamorous. He wants a Star Wars theme.
Nice. Hey, that sounds formal and glamorous to me.
Yeah, right.
You know what? You're not lying, Steve. You can make it really classy. That's for sure. He wants to go all out.
Okay.
He's hiring stormtrooper. He's talking about hiring stormtroopers to dance or stormpoopers.
Maybe that's the problem. You're inviting stormpoopers, and she doesn't want that.
Well, you said you wanted it classy. Nothing classier than a stormpooper. He wants stormtroopers to do some dancing. He wants groomsmen all dressed in Jedi robes.
Oh boy.
And he's using the Star Wars music for their first dance. Here's the problem.
Which song? The actual main theme song? I
mean,
I thought it'd be like the Cantina song.
That wouldn't be bad. If you really wanted to piss her off, you could have the Imperial as she's walking down the aisle. I'm sure she'd appreciate that. But the funny thing is I was at a Star Wars wedding. It was very, very fun. But she was really, into the Star Wars wedding. Yeah. I don't know if her husband so much was. I think he knew the world. But I know she was a super Star Wars fan. This is a tough one for me. Because she's not even into Star Wars. So the bride is like, she wants nothing in it. She's not a Star Wars fan. He says, well, what about if we do half the wedding? Like she handles the ceremony and he plans the reception. She's not into that either. But the guy is going, hey, this is my wedding too, and I should get to decide at least half the day. We share finances, so I'm paying enough to get a say so too.
At the end of the day, the wedding is... there's lots of crazy ideas I had. I was lucky enough to get a magician, which I was shocked I would even able to get that. But if I had my choice, I'd have a wrestling-themed wedding with wrestling-themed songs. And,
hell yeah.
Have it all set up like it was like that with a lot of brother stuff going on. But I knew that's not something that she wants. Unless you're both on board for a weird theme wedding, I think you got to go the traditional route.
Here's the thing. I feel like our traditions, Steve, are starting to get to the point where they're just, if they're gender-based traditions, I think that we are sort of letting go of that. Like, for instance, it was always gender-based that the dude always paid for the first date. Like, you want a date, you paid. There was no way the woman was going to pay. And another gender-based tradition is that you always let the woman have the kind of wedding that she wants.
Yeah.
But I mean, we're starting to let go of some of those gender-based traditions. So does he really have a point? If, they share finances, and why shouldn't he have a say in the wedding as much as she? I mean, it is just a gender-based tradition as to why the guy doesn't have a say.
He wants a bunch of groomsmen dressed in Jedi robes. I can understand why she's like, I'm not feeling that.
But like the wedding I went to, she was like she was into that. So you're saying who wants that? Somebody who's a Star Wars fan who has a say. That's the key. Like, the bride always has the say, or in some cases, it's unfortunately the bride's mother that always has the say. Like, even the bride doesn't sometimes get what she wants because the mother's like, this is the wedding I always wanted, so this is the wedding we're all going to have.
And if they're paying for it, sometimes you have to be like, all right, fine, do what you want.
Yeah. I mean, do you think then whoever pays for it, do they get the ultimate say?
Oof. It's a tough call. I don't know. For me personally, it's like, this is a party that's a big deal for my wife. I'm fine with whatever. So whatever you feel like, I know it's going to be way better than anything I could come up with.
Do you know who I think has an answer? And I think it would be a great answer for these two. I mean, unless you want to go tradition, but the LGBTQ plus community has a great answer, because who is the one that gets to have the wedding of their dreams? You know what I mean? Because usually we base it on, it's always the woman. But if it's two women getting married, then who's the one that gets the wedding of their dreams? Then I think they've got to share, right? Or is somebody chosen? Like, is it always, just know you're the spouse.
One.
You're the spouse that I am the lower maintenance one, so I am not going to complain. I'm going to let the higher maintenance one get whatever they want.
I think that's even whatever genders. I think really at the end of the day, it's probably whoever's the more high maintenance is going to get their way in the situation when it comes to like a wedding. Because it's like the other person, at least I know for me personally, I'm just like, whatever. You want this? That's fine. I don't care.
Then I deserve an award. Because I think everybody knows in my relationship, I'm the higher maintenance one. And I let Kathy have the wedding that she wanted. And even though it was not, I'm the higher maintenance one. And it was not, I did not want a Hare Krishna wedding, but we had one.
How about one person brought up a good point? I saw that, like, why don't they go with like a Star Wars themed bachelor party?
Yeah.
You could hire a bunch of strippers to dress up as like Slave Leia. And I'm sure the wife would love that.
Boy, that is a way to get the wife to give you your way. Actually, you know what? If you talk about that, Steve, that's a good passive-aggressive way to get the wedding of your dream. Yeah, I'll just have a bachelor party, and there'll be Slave Leias, and who knows? Hey,
I didn't even think of it that way. I was like, that sounds like a great compromise. What's wrong about that?
Yeah.
Like stormtroopers in like basically bikini armor, dancing.
Yeah, see, now you're talking. That's how you get it done,
I like
boys.
this now. Yeah,
right.
That's pretty good.
If you were able to have your way with a wedding, and money's not an object, and you could just have it be whatever themed wedding that you'd like, what would you go with?
Oh, well, currently, I think it would be probably a board game themed wedding where we're all playing board games at my wedding. Currently, that's what I would do. You know what I mean?
Yeah, right.
If you win the game, we end up married.
That's
if
exactly
you lose.
it. Yeah.
The wedding DJ's in the corner just like punching himself. Like, why did I take this gig? Nobody's dancing.
Exactly.
I'm throwing out banger after banger, and they're just on their damn board game playing.
Yes, but if we get the right wedding DJ that knows the kind of music to play for the kind of game we're playing, let me tell you, that would be sweet. We need a guy to really give us a good soundtrack. That would be mine. So it would be a board game themed wedding where basically everybody's at the tables, and the tables are big enough to accommodate whatever board game they want to play.
Yeah, I go wrestling, of course. Theme songs, a championship belt. Maybe the cake is a championship belt. An actual wrestling ring there as well. Nice. So like to bust into some impromptu wrestling matches. Maybe even have a full on card. Some of my friends that are wrestlers. Maybe the last match, instead of a death match, it's a death till we part match. And
wow,
light tubes and razor blades and thumbtacks.
Whoa,
why not?
Damn,
that wedding dress is turning red by the end of the night, brother.
That's amazing. You got to have some pyro too.
Yeah, that's a spectacle.
I know Danny's like, I'm just going to sit over here and be quiet.
He's like,
I'm going to go. No, I'm going to go, but I'm just going to sit in the background and watch it.
Yeah, right.
That's a spectacle right there. And that is a special partner that would put up with all that. No doubt about it.
So it said, Steve, I can see you going down the aisle to Shawn Michaels' entrance song, the Sexy Boy song.
Wow.
I'm not your boy toy.
Oh,
Sexy
okay.
Boy.
That's nice.
All right, Danny, what are you doing?
Well, I guess my first wedding was kind of like we had a themed wedding. We had it at Disneyland. So and that
really?
Oh yeah. We got married at Disneyland, and it was one of those we both wanted that, and so she got her like Cinderella type wedding procession thing, and then at the end, and then we got to ride in the thing, the Cinderella's carriage.
Oh, the big pumpkin?
Wow. Yeah, the big pumpkin thing. And then
was Mickey like doing the vows?
No. We had our friend do it. Yeah. It's funny too. You could actually Donald. He wasn't wearing pants either. No, and then after the reception was Haunted Mansion themed.
Oh, so, that's cool.
Yeah, but if I had to pick one now, I probably would just want to get married, look at a punk rock show. In the pit. Yeah,
in the pit.
Yeah,
in the pit.
Well, MXPX is playing, and then we just get married right in the pit.
You may mosh with the bride.
Yeah, they always say like the ring is a circle because it's an eternal thing.
There you go.
So you're in a circle pit, which is also a circle.
Oh, nice.
And our friends pick us up when we fall down, and it'd be this whole thing.
So far, both of your weddings, I would be like, no. It's like it is fascinating to think like, wow. First of all, Dan, that you were lucky enough to find somebody that wanted to do the Disney theme. That's pretty amazing, or at least that and if that's what she wanted, you lucked out because you love Disney too.
Well, see, that's why I kind of have like the problem with like this guy's thing is like I'm like, well, if she's first off. You want to have your own, and you're like fighting with her. And secondly, she's not like willing to let you have any of it. Like you should probably talk about that. Just gonna put that out there.
And BJ, you might not be coming to our wedding, but I guarantee Danny and I are not coming to your silly board game wedding.
That's also true.
Yeah. Danny's at least played board games with me. Steve, you're right. I know you're not coming, but Danny, if we have booze and we have food, you'll come and play to my board game wedding.
Oh, if it's open bar, I'm coming too.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Well, of course it's open bar. What are you talking about?
Steve's going to sit in the back drink and play Cranium and be all good.
Yeah. Or I'm going to play Operation with the wedding DJ.
Nice.
Yeah.
Oh, listen, I'll bring whatever game you want, Steve. I mean, this is a wedding for everybody. Whatever game you want, I'll have. But now Rev is the person that I want to talk to because I feel like, I could be wrong, but I feel like Rev really drove the bus for this wedding. Like he was the man that basically got his wedding.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's true, but it feels like this was a Rev style wedding.
I think it was me who proposed the idea, but the wife was all in for it too. Like she made her dress, and just the fact that we were able to kind of come together and like it was our first real sort of collaboration when it came down to it. So my steampunk wedding, I mean, we had it in Vegas. It was just amazing. It was perfect. But now, if we were going to maybe, renew our vows, I would probably go with like a Marvel wedding. If we got all dressed up and maybe the person officiating could be dressed up as Thanos, and then instead of saying, you may kiss the bride, he just snaps. That'd be cool.
I have to tell both of you guys that, and Steve, you may, you're younger than me, but I feel like you were still raised with the same thing. It never occurred to me to say anything about how the wedding should be. My first inclination was, what would you like? I mean, that's everything I was always coached and told. And my father and brother both took me aside because they know how high maintenance I am. And they were like, you understand that it is her wedding. So don't mess this up. Don't be you. You just do whatever she wants you to. I mean, they made sure that I understood that because that was the way, this is the way. That was how it was, in the 80s when I got married. Steve, did you feel the same way that you just knew that it had to be whatever she wanted?
No, because we had some conversations. I mean, I told her, I'm like, I don't mean this in a disrespectful way, but just tell me what day it's going to be and I'm there. Like, I don't care what we're doing for it wasn't like I don't care because I don't love you. I just don't. Parties are not a big deal to me. So like whatever you want to do, I'm down with. I just want a magician. And when she said,
I mean,
and when she said that's all you care about, I'm like, yes. If I could have a street magician doing magic to people who don't know he's a magician, to me that's the ultimate part of the wedding. And anything else is just whatever you want. I trust that you're going to make it great. And she was like, yeah, let's do it.
That is so random. Even when you say it to this day, which he was awesome, I don't know if anyone will ever ask for that at a wedding again. It was just like, you want a what? I would like a street magician at our wedding, please.
It's genius, though. It was so cool.
It was fantastic.
It was the greatest icebreaker. I've had people tell me our wedding was the greatest wedding ever. I'm like, really? I'm like, well, why? Because not that I thought we had a bad wedding. I was just like, I felt like it was a very traditional, it's a fun wedding, but it's not going to go down as like one for the ages, unless for my wife and I, of course. And they're like, because there was a magician. And
I'm glad you added that. If you want to be able to go home today, you needed to add that.
Well, you know what I mean.
I know what you mean, but that doesn't mean anything. It's what you say is what counts in the world sometimes.
Fortunately, my wife gets how I talk, so I mean, I don't have to worry.
And I think the best part too is like, you have an open bar and then you have street magic and it just blows people away.
Drunk people do not expect a guy to come up to them and have things set on fire in front of them. It was awesome.
Right?
Oh,
pulling
plus
things out of his eyes.
It's so cool.
And if you're a magician, you are going to want to perform for drunk people because you could do stuff where you could make mistakes right in front of them. They'll still think it's magic.
Right?
Yeah. It was so much fun. And he dressed like as if he was just a regular good person coming to our wedding.
Yeah, that was really cool.
Yeah.
He was incognito. It was awesome.
It was like he was wearing a shirt that says, I'm a magician.
That'd be a cool shirt to have, though.
Well, this guy's getting beaten up on Reddit. Everybody thinks that he should basically not have his Star Wars wedding, and really they're on the fiancé side. Which, I can't, look, no matter what the situation is, if somebody is really displeased with what their wedding is going to be like, you gotta be cool, don't you? You gotta go, all right. You know what I mean? Cause it is their day too. I mean, usually, like, whenever with my vegetarian wedding, it was a beating because my father was the one that said he wasn't going to come. And I remember like, dude, you took me aside and told me not to make a big deal of everything. And now you're making a big deal of everything. It's like, you're such an idiot. I just let her have what she wants. It's like, what do I care? I'm getting married to her, and he was like, no, there has to be meat at the wedding. And I'm like, this is the weirdest thing of the world. The father of the groom is the one that's causing the most drama in this wedding. The mother of the bride, who all had dreams of what she thought her daughter would be doing. We had the hippiest wedding of all. And the mother of the bride thought, I'm going to walk you down the aisle. It's going to be in a beautiful function room. It's going to be married in the Catholic Church. We did none of that. And the mother and mom was fine. My father was like, there's no meat. I'm out. And he did not go to the wedding. Which is just,
man loves his meat.
Yeah, right.
You know what? There you go. That was his war. That was his battle right there.
Did you have a conversation with your wife though at all of being like, is there any way we could have any meat, or did you just say, all right, all vegetarian, we're good?
Well, she was really into the Hare Krishna religion, and they are strict vegetarians. So that was not a conversation that was going to happen.
Having it, yeah.
Yeah, it was. And Steve knows, I just feel like now, but see, here's the thing. My wife was not going to promote meat, where Steve's wife doesn't mind if other people do what they do. She's just living her. My wife was different. She was like, I am not going to promote it. I'm not going to be a part of it, which is, now, of course, she eats meat. So it's sort of like, I wish I had a time machine so I could go back and tell her what a lovely character. Hey, honey, you're causing a lot of drama and for no reason.
I didn't even know did she start eating meat when she went to California?
After she had her car accident,
okay,
they told her the healing process would be better if she got animal protein because she wasn't getting better. And finally, the doctor's like, dude, if you want any hope of getting back from this car accident, you have got to get some animal protein. Your vegetables just aren't going to do enough for there. And so that's when she's like, okay. And she started with fish. And as soon as that happened, Steve, I was like, woohoo! Animal food's back, baby!
Then we can add bacon to everything.
Oh, they do talk about like the healing power of like that bone broth stuff. So I can understand that. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's
some bone broth.
Yeah, that's a bone broth. Yeah. So it wasn't. It was definitely, that was her line, Danny. She didn't care about anything else, but she wasn't going to have meat at her wedding. And I was like, well, okay, who cares? Let's get married. And it ended up, it was a beating. It really was a beating. But you know what? Here we are 36 years later, and what I wanted to do, I got to do. I got to marry the girl I loved, and I'm still with her. So that's all I cared about.
And in a roundabout way, she got some sausage on the wedding night, right?
Yeah. No response. That's a yes.
Oh, look, dude, I was a hero. She knew that I went through hell with this wedding. My wife treated me really well. She knew that.
Awesome.
She's low maintenance, and she knew she was being very high maintenance with the vegetarian thing. She knew that. And she knew I was high maintenance, and she couldn't believe how cooperative I was. So, yes, let me just tell you right now, my wife was very kind to me. Whatever honestly, if I wanted to have a Wookiee at my wedding, she probably would have let that happen, actually, because she knew. We got a guy that just created the strangest and possibly greatest app of all time, especially for parents. I'll tell you what it is at 8:19 on The Rock.
BJ and Migs. Mornings on The Rock. 99.9 KISW.
Wenatchee is gorgeous in the spring with its lush green rolling hills, abundant wildflowers everywhere, and the views of the Columbia River. The local food scene offers an abundant selection of authentic international cuisines featuring the unique farm-fresh ingredients of the region. Wenatchee is also home to award-winning wines, handcrafted hard ciders, and a talented handful of local brewers producing fine craft beers. Visit Wenatchee, the heart of Washington State.
Spend less time in the laundry room and more time doing the things you love. Introducing the Samsung Smart Top Load Laundry Pair, now available at Lowe's. The washer's large capacity means you can fit more in every load. Plus, its super speed setting washes a full load in only 28 minutes. Shop the smart washer that will streamline laundry day, backed by Lowe's Price Promise. Based on using super speed on a normal cycle with an 8-pound load. Terms apply. See Lowe's.com/price promise for details. U.S. only.
$20 million, $19 million, $6 million. These are all awards recovered for clients of Phillips Law Firm. To win big, you have to fight big. And Phillips Law has been fighting the too big to fail insurance industry for decades. Not every case will have a multi-million-dollar outcome, but Phillips Law will fight just as hard to recover the outcome you deserve. If you or a loved one has been injured in a car accident or on the job, call or click today at 1-800-JUSTICE or visit justiceforyou.com.
99.9 KISW, the Rock of Seattle. Next Thursday, April 8th, is Seattle Rock Day. Yeah, once again, celebrating Seattle's rich rock legacy. Whoa, we're back. It's back. It's all back.
We're doing it for a great cause, man. We're doing it for Smash, the group that puts money on, helps out musicians that don't have insurance.
Yeah, that's a great cause. We're really happy to do that. So Seattle Rock Day has turned into a celebration and also really an appreciation for those great local musicians because, yeah, the big bands we know, but man, what a thriving scene we have. So many of those local musicians, they could use a little help in the medical department.
And it's just going to be a fun day to celebrate the best music from the Pacific Northwest, which it's always my favorite day, man, on the Rock. It's just hearing some of my favorite bands all day long.
You want some more info, you just go to KISW.com. All right, so there's a British dude. His name is Anthony, and he invented an Alexa app to help his daughter get to sleep. And, of course, with that, they call them skills in Alexa, but basically it's an app. And, his daughter was really worried about monsters under her bed, which is an age-old problem that I think, wow, man, at some point in any parent's life, that's going to happen. Steve, I would imagine it's going to happen to you, whether it be closet or bed at some point. Little tater tots probably.
Yeah.
Like, Dad, I'm really afraid.
That's why we're going to put our bed on the floor and remove all closet doors. Then there's no problem.
Oh, good call.
Oh, yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Does Lily deal with that? Does she have like the monster issue?
Not monsters. She actually loves monsters and ghosts. I think that the thing that she's scared of right now is coyotes. Because they kind of live in the woods in Massachusetts. Like, there's not a lot of houses around them or anything. And I guess that there was some coyotes that were coming around and kind of killing some livestock. And she found out about it because they were talking about it at school. And so now she's scared that the coyotes are going to come in her house and get her. Or,
What's a coyote?
that's the word. Wolf? I don't know. What do you call it?
Kai. It's Kai, like Cobra Kai. Just think of Cobra Kai. Yeah, there you go.
I like the way you say it.
Coyotes.
Coyotes.
It's C-O. Okay.
Is that your favorite hockey team until the Kraken show up? The Arizona Coyotes?
Coyotes, yes.
Yeah. We're really getting more and more of this ad. This, I didn't know there was a New Mexico accent, but we're getting it. I mean, this is nuts.
I don't know. I have a friend, Drew, who's from New Mexico. I've never heard him say it. They call it the Coyotes.
Well, you know.
Yeah.
No,
this is the first time we've heard it.
Yeah. Anyway, to answer your question, yes, she's scared to get around windows now because she's scared that they're going to break into her window and eat her.
Oh no!
Oh, that is. I mean, because coyotes are real. At least monsters, you go, honey, they're fake. They don't exist. You're fine.
Right.
Well, maybe you can then take this guy's app and just slightly alter it because his app is called Monster Guard. And so basically through Alexa, the voice activated system scans the room for monsters and then lets his daughter go to sleep without worry. So this is cool. Here's what it sounds like when you want to activate Monster Guard.
Alexa, open Monster Guard.
Monster Guard, keeping you safe from monsters.
Oh boy.
So what are we the night, huh? If you want me to scan your room, remember, simply say, scan the room. Or if you just want to activate Monster Guard, say, activate Monster Guard, and I'll make sure you're safe all night long.
Scan room.
Sure thing, I can do that. Is there anywhere in the room you think might be a good monster hiding spot? I'll double check there for you. Or I could just do the whole room.
Do whole room, please.
Yeah, do the whole room.
First of all, I love this kid.
That's so cool.
Very, very polite. Because if I'm in a terrified state, I remember I am not going to be polite to any. Just scan the room. Stop asking me questions. There could be a monster here.
Oh, the guy who went and did like all the details of like having the annoying options guy. You know, like, hey, if you like this, press 1. If you like this, press 2. It's like, just give me everything.
Yeah,
I don't want any monsters. Scan the whole damn room. You
Whoa.
Well, my friend Steve's very scared. Scan the whole room, please. And then, of course, the app does scan the room so that the Monster Guard keeps the monsters away throughout the night.
Running monster scan in 3, 2, 1. Nothing to fear. No monsters in this room, but I can activate Monster Guard. You want me to, just to be extra safe?
Yes, please.
All right. Activating Monster Guard. And we are done. No worrying about monsters tonight. All I want you to do is to have sweet dreams and sleep tight. We'll see you tomorrow.
Aw.
Wouldn't it be funny if all of a sudden he like figures out a way to make it to scam people, like puts a little paid thing in there too? Like, you really want me to check all the monsters? Say yes, and I'll charge your parents $5.99 a month. Just don't tell them.
And now we've come up with Steve's new Monster Guard.
The Monster Guard, card scam.
Yeah, exactly. Well, you know what, Danny? All you got to do is make a slight alteration, and they can say, would you like me to scan for coyotes?
Coyote scan.
Yeah. No coyotes here.
Dude, I just hope nobody hacks into that. You know, there's a lot of like terrible people out there and idiots out there. Like, someone hacks into it and they're like, do the monster scan, and all of a sudden the guy's like, there's an F load of monsters. Get out. Get out now.
Yeah, oh, dude, you're right. That could easily. Oh, that would be horrible.
I doubt it.
Oh man, I'd be so mad if it could be or a disgruntled worker, because these things can get updated without you knowing. And you know, finally somebody's like, you know what? This is my last day at Amazon. I'm gonna mess with the Monster Guard app.
I got a feeling that the Monster Guard team is not really a lot of people. It's probably just one person that made this app. I don't think he has like an office of people that work on Monster Guard.
Well, it's the father that made it. So if he ever gets ticked off at her, what if he does it? Oh, really? Oh, is this how you're going to be? All right, well, nighty night. Temper tantrum girl. Hope there are no monsters.
Someone said when I was little, I thought there was a little man that rode a crocodile under my bed.
Okay, that's awesome. I mean, first of all, that is an awesome. If you're going to have a crazy imagination, a little dude riding a crocodile is pretty awesome.
The person says that's part of the reason they created Sesame Street, to teach kids lots of things. One was monsters aren't bad. I didn't know that.
Oh, well, that really makes sense to me. I wondered why we had a Cookie Monster and Grover Monster, because I think they used to call him Grover Monster back in the day. Now that makes so much sense.
I remember there was a book called There's a Monster at the End of This Book, and it was Grover freaking out the entire book about a monster being at the end of the book, and it turns out he was the monster all along. And,
spoiler alert.
Oh, sorry.
Jeez, dude.
Damn it, now I'm just going to have to cancel that order on Amazon.
Unbelievable. You know what, Steve? Honestly, you'd think this day and age Rev would know better.
Someone said when my now 21-year-old son was little and he was afraid of monsters under the bed in the closet, I made him a monster spray. He kept it next to his bed.
That's pretty genius, too.
Yeah. Well, they should get in with each other at that point, because like you said at that point, Steve, just be like, there's one monster detected. Click or say yes, and monster spray will be sent to your house immediately.
Right. For an extra $15.
Yes.
It'll be 1 day over 1 night shipping.
You know, this one guy, all he's trying to do is just make his daughter go to bed nicely. And you guys are going, we're going to fleece the hell out of you. And the father is going to have nightmares. He's going to be like, my God, these people are killing me over here.
Oh, one person says, what the hell's going to happen when a real monster breaks in? You got this app lying to her.
I mean, it depends what we call a real monster. Are we talking about coyotes? Are we talking about villains? What are we talking about?
Elmo.
Oh,
adorable, though.
Listen, Steve didn't have to worry about any of that growing up because his father would beat up Santa Claus, so therefore no monster's going to even mess with their house.
Everyone knew to steer clear of that house.
Jack Skellington's like, we're not going to go there with any nightmare before anything. They beat the hell out of Santa Claus in that house.
It's the Christmas time. The monster is my dad. Dark. Sorry.
That's the moral of that sad story.
He's a lovable monster, kind of like Grover.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
I never saw Grover beat the hell out of Santa Claus.
You're right.
Okay. Damn. And at least Cookie Monster brings cookies. And Oscar at least has a can of trash you can dig through. I mean, your monster is just like, you wear a red suit, you bring gifts, you're dead.
Leave your toys out, I'll step on them.
Oh, yeah.
Aww.
You know, you're a monster you live with. We should have got you some spray and an app.
Someone just said, hey, is it just me or is BJ saying coyote weird? Yeah. I don't know what's up with BJ, but
BJ, you should really learn how to say that word.
It's coyote.
Yeah, would you help me, Danny? I forget how to say that word. How do you say it?
Coyote.
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 Give me something with
Texas there.
Howdy.
Yeah.
Ain't no coyotes in this room.
You know, my favorite Netflix show is Cobra Coyote.
Oh, yeah.
Partner.
Well, if you just joined us, Danny, for some reason, likes to say coyote as the word coyote. We don't know why.
We learned something new today.
I mean, it is spelled Coyote, so I guess you could, I suppose you go like, it really should be probably coyote.
Yeah, it's not Kaiote.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, see, all right then.
Joe Coyote.
That's a really good point. We don't call him Joe Kai.
Yeah. Thank you. I stand by it.
You're welcome.
Yeah. All right. We should do, I wonder if how long could you think we could go if we just kept calling Joe Coy Joe Kai for the whole interview? He'd be like,
Joe would play along in a heartbeat.
Yeah, he would. You're absolutely right.
He would just be like, I don't know what they're doing, but I'm going to play along with them. These idiots that I talk to all the time.
Yeah, these dummies.
On Friday, Steve did get this one wrong.
Raja was what kind of animal in Disney's Aladdin?
Raja was a lion.
No.
Monkey.
No.
Giraffe.
No.
Coyote. Sorry.
Coyotes and monkeys.
Monkeys. What the hell is wrong with me?
Yeah.
No.
Well, if you're a Pooh fan, where the answer was Tigger.
Excuse me?
Winnie the Pooh fan, excuse me.
Like
if you're a Winnie the Pooh fan. Tiger was the correct answer we're looking for. And you have a shot at beating Steve. 206-421-ROCK. We're playing Beat Migs at 8:47 on The Rock.
Today's podcast was brought to you by Travis Gagne, bankruptcy attorney. He's here right now and has agreed to answer more of your questions about bankruptcy. Here's a question from a listener. My house is currently in foreclosure. I've stopped making payments. What can I do to save my house?
If you're already in foreclosure behind on your mortgage, you can stop the foreclosure by filing a bankruptcy. There's different types of bankruptcy. Chapter 13 can help you catch up on your house payments if you're behind. It would mean that you'd have to start making your house payments again and catch up on the amount that you're behind over 5 years. You could also take off or strip off your second mortgage, which would help you to reduce your housing payment every month, especially once you're done with the plan and done catching up on your first mortgage. We could also try to buy you some time by filing a Chapter 13 case. Filing a Chapter 13 would definitely stop your foreclosure.
Thanks, Travis. If you have more questions about bankruptcy, you can reach out to Travis anytime at choosetherightchapter.com. That's choosetherightchapter.com. And thanks for listening.